Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into something really crucial, cancer prevention. Based on some expert advice from Dr. Wang Shuo, an oncologist over at Beijing Shijitan Hospital. Yeah, the idea is to break down his framework. He uses 9 sort of categories, often just single characters in Chinese, to pinpoint risks.
Yeah.
We want to pull out the stuff that's maybe less obvious, the actionable things.
Exactly, because look, everyone knows about smoking, maybe too much sun, but this guide, it brings up things you might not even think about, like how you cook or even how hot your tea is.
Okay, let's get right into it then. Starting with food and drink, we have to talk about alcohol. And there's this persistent idea, isn't there, about moderate drinking being okay, maybe even healthy.
Right, and medically, that's just not supported. Dr. Wang's guidance is clear and aligns with, well, the World Health Organization. Ethanol, that's the alcohol in drinks, is a group 1 carcinogen. Full stop.
Group 1, like asbestos and tobacco smoke.
Precisely. There really isn't a safe level from a cancer perspective. It's directly linked to multiple cancers: liver, esophageal, colorectal, breast. The list goes on. Any amount increases risks.
Okay, sobering stuff. But then there's something really specific, scalding. He lists consuming things consistently over 65 degrees Celsius. That's, what, 149 Fahrenheit?
Yeah, it's surprisingly low, isn't it? Think about your average cup of tea or coffee served piping hot. If you drink it immediately, regularly.
You're causing damage each time.
Exactly. It's repeated thermal injury to the lining of your esophagus. Your cells are constantly trying to repair that damage, and that process, over time, significantly ups the risk of esophageal cancer. It's a simple habit change, just letting it cool a bit.
Wow, okay. And the last one in this food group is sugar. He calls it the accomplice.
It's not usually seen as a direct carcinogen itself, but high sugar intake fuels chronic inflammation and insulin resistance. And that kind of environment, it basically helps cancer cells grow and spread faster.
Right, create favorable conditions. Okay, let's shift gears. Toxins in the home, specifically the kitchen. You mentioned cooking earlier.
Yeah, kitchen fumes. Beyond cigarettes, this is a big one, especially with certain cooking methods. High heat cooking, like stir frying or deep frying.
It's just pretty common.
Very common. When cooking oil hits those high temps, it releases things called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. These are potent carcinogens, particularly for the lungs.
So the practical advice here is absolutely critical.
Use your range hood every single time. And this is key. Leave it running for a few minutes after you finish cooking to clear out those residual fumes. Don't just turn it off at the stove.
Got it. Next up, mold. Described as the hidden king of toxins. That sounds ominous.
It really is. We need to talk about aflatoxin specifically. It's produced by certain molds, the kind that can grow on things like peanuts, corn, grains if they're stored improperly, maybe a bit damp.
And aflatoxin is linked to
Liver cancer, strongly linked. It's one of the most potent naturally occurring carcinogens we know. And the rule here has to be absolute. You see mold on food, don't try to cut it off.
just discard the whole thing.
The whole thing. The toxins can penetrate much deeper than the visible mold. It's just not worth the risk.
Okay. Then we have cured and charred foods. Let's take cured first, things like bacon, ham, some sausages.
Right. The issue there is often the nitrites used as preservatives. In your stomach, these can convert into N-nitrosyl compounds or nitrosamines.
And those are the problem.
Yes, they can damage DNA and are linked to stomach and colorectal cancers.
And charred,
Yep.
like on grilled meats, that blackened crust.
That's where you get heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and benzopyrene. These chemicals form when muscle meat is cooked at very high temperatures, especially grilling or pan frying. They're also mutagenic. They damage DNA.
So maybe scrape off the really burnt bits.
It definitely helps. Avoid excessive charring in the first place if you can. Moderate cooking temperatures are better.
Okay, moving to the last two categories, environment and infection. Sun exposure is pretty well understood, right?
It is, but always worth repeating. UV radiation is a major cause of skin cancer, including melanoma. So sun protection, especially during peak hours, say 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., is essential.
And finally, viruses. This feels different. How do viruses cause cancer?
It's about chronic infection and inflammation. Certain viruses directly contribute. Think chronic hepatitis B, HBV, and hepatitis C, HCV.
Yeah.
They're the leading causes of liver cancer worldwide.
Okay.
And then there's human papillomavirus, HPV. Certain strains cause most cervical cancers, plus anal, throat, and other cancers.
But the crucial point here is prevention, right?
Absolutely. This is a huge prevention opportunity. We have effective vaccines for HPV and HPV, and regular screenings can catch HPV-related changes early and detect HCV infections so they can be managed. It's really about using the tools we have.
So looking back at all 9 points, sugar, alcohol, smoke, scalding, sun, cured, charred, mold, and viruses. It really hammers home that prevention isn't some huge, complex thing. It's often about these small, consistent daily choices.
It really is. And this kind of detailed guidance informs the approaches you see in advanced cancer care settings, like those major centers in Beijing or Shanghai that medical tourism China often highlights. It's all connected. But think about it, what really stands out. For me, it might be that scalding point. If just adjusting the temperature of your daily drink, something so simple, can cut down a serious cancer risk, well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other tiny unconscious habits do we all have that maybe need a closer look? That, I think, is the real question to take away.